want people to take away from the documentary is that it's the most important thing you can do for yourself is to live your truth. I'm very excited to finally show this documentary to the whole world, and I can't wait to perform too. I haven't sang on stage in a minute.
Yes, that's the energy we need. But I have the easiest job in the entire world right now, bringing to the stage a woman who needs absolutely no introduction whatsoever. Without further ado, Demi Lovato.
Hi, guys. I tried to talk to my piano. I tried to talk to my guitar. My imagination confided into alcohol. I tried and tried and tried some more. Told secrets till my voice was sore. Tired of empty conversation, 'cause no one hears me anymore. 100 million stories and 100 million songs. I feel stupid when I sing. Nobody's listening to me. Nobody's listening. I talk to shooting stars, but they always get it wrong. I feel stupid when I pray. So why am I praying anyway? 'Cause nobody's listening. Anyone, please send me anyone. Lord, is there anyone? I need someone. Oh, anyone, please send me anyone. Lord, is there anyone? I need someone. I used to crave the world's attention. I think I cried too many times. I just need some more affection. Anything to get me by. 100 million stories and 100 million songs. I feel stupid when I sing. Nobody's listening to me. Nobody's listening. I talk to shooting stars, but they always get it wrong. I feel stupid when I pray. So why the fuck am I praying anyway? 'Cause nobody's listening. Anyone, please send me anyone. Lord, is there anyone? I need someone. Oh, anyone, please send me anyone. Oh, Lord, is there anyone? I need someone. Oh, anyone. I need anyone. Oh, anyone. I need someone. 100 million stories and 100 million songs. I feel stupid when I sing. Nobody's listening to me. Nobody's listening. Thank you guys so much for coming. And thanks for tuning in. I love all of you.
Everybody give it up for Demi. We're gonna show you a quick conversation that Demi and I did. We were the opening night headliner at South by Southwest. We put this conversation together. I want you guys to check it out. Thank you, guys.
Given everything that's happened, are you entirely sober now?
What do you think people would be most surprised to find out about the process?
Because we filmed this in COVID, it was actually kind of hard to get all of my family to film their interviews. You were calling me like, we need Dallas's interview, and I was like, well, I don't know what to tell you. She's out of town.
Remember the first day when we had to stop every 20 minutes for the Lysol wipe down? So we were like getting somewhere and we're like, Lysol,
I was like, and then I
They come with the fans
overdosed.
first.
And they're like, yeah, but we need to wipe this down.
You're like, cool, do you?
Cool, okay.
I mean, there were all these factors. Even in the beginning, I said to you, do you want to shoot? And it was like, if we can get the safety measures right, this is the time to tell the story. Why was it the time despite all of the obstacles against us?
I was doing so much work on myself personally during quarantine, and I didn't want to delay the telling of my story. Seeing this doc come out kind of in real time, you know, matching my personal growth, it's really, really cool.
How different you think it would have been if we waited?
I just think that we would have lost elements of truth. I may not have had those same nuggets had it been 2 years from now.
Part of our filmmaking process was these confessional videos.
Yeah.
Tell me about the idea of using those confessionals, ultimately saying, I know that one way or another, this is gonna make the doc more truthful.
The confessionals helped me process what I was learning. And so it was kind of like, instead of writing in a diary and reading it back, I was able to play it back and be like, wow, that was kind of insightful. But actually doing it, actually being vulnerable and letting my guard down to the extent that I did in front of a camera was really challenging for me. And you saw it because I sent one video and I was like,
I was just gonna say, are we going there?
Yeah, we're going there.
This sums up our process. When you sent me that video, I watched it and I was like, ooh, like, I knew you were going through it, but I was like, all right, this is not it, but she's not ready yet. She's not ready.
Yeah.
And then I think you emailed me like 4 hours later.
Yeah, 3 hours
and
later.
I didn't see it yet, and I just didn't open it. And then I remember you hit me the next day, you're like, hey, did you see that video? And I was like, yeah. The second one, I was like, no. And then I watched it and I was like, oh. And that's when I realized, again, it's on your clock.
The video I made earlier wasn't an accurate representation of what I'm going through.
I think people will find that moment so powerful because sometimes we trick ourselves.
Totally.
And then 4 hours later you went, this is the raw. This is what's really going on.
Well, what's interesting is that's kind of been like a really good example of how I live my life today. When I was honest in the past, I wasn't fully honest. Then I kind of had to come back and say, you know what? I'm gonna really be honest. And that's what I feel like this doc is fully doing.
We always talked about the ending of this doc. Like from the beginning, I was like, how do you end a doc on a 28-year-old? Someone who's just starting to grow, right? And I think that that's kind of what's so special is that there's no pressure at the end of this doc.
Yeah.
Right, it's you, but you're like, I'm fluid.
Yeah.
And like, life's fluid.
Life's fluid, I'm fluid, things are gonna change. You know, my hair is gonna be pink one day, and then I might identify as something else the next. I was kind of taught over the last 7 years of my life, stability. Stability is what is the end goal. And it's like, okay, but stability doesn't always have to be the end all be all because there's not a ton of growth in that. What I would strive for instead of stability is like serenity and peace and like content with the person I've become through the chaos. I'm continuing to grow and I'm continuing to learn, and like anyone who says they have it figured out, they don't have it figured out because it can't be ego-based.
You say something in all of the press that we do that I find so perfectly poetic and powerful. You're an open book with boundaries. Once this is out there, you're at peace with it.
I'm at peace, and once this is out there, it's like, if you want to know about my story, watch the doc. And if I want to elaborate more about it someday in a book or something or another doc, then I will. For me right now, this is all that I want to say about what happened. It's as honest as you're gonna get because I trust you with like my life, and it's really, really exciting.
What does it feel like to have this doc coming out at 28? You're alive to see it. You made it past, you know, hopefully what's the darkest times behind you. And there's a lot of other superstars, Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin, people that did not. Like you survived the 27 Club. Do you think about how important that is?
Sometimes I still deal with like survivor's guilt, and there's a lot of musicians that just don't make it. And I was very close to being one of them. And so at certain times after my overdose where I have said something wrong or gotten attacked or whatever, and people come after me and say, oh, well, I wish it would have been you instead of so-and-so. Like, that really affects me. And it got into my head so much so that I kind of started believing it for a while. And I think that's why I ended up, slipping, which I talk about. And I think it's embracing what I went through as a giant lesson for me. I will continue to live every day at my fullest potential because aside from some of the musicians and other entertainers that haven't made it, I think about my friends that haven't made it. Say I'm having a bad day, I'm like, I'm having a really bad day today and so-and-so is not here to have a bad day. So I'm going to either try to flip this bad day around or just like embrace it for what it is as a bad day and then like use people for support, call up my therapist. It's taught me a lot. I had to change my way of thinking from survivor's guilt to this was a lesson and live your life to the fullest now.
If there's a goal here in this doc, besides ultimately being catharsis for you and your story and telling your truth, it's to allow other people to know it's okay not to be okay, which pops up at the end. You're not defined by your lowest moments. And ultimately, if you can go and seek help, you should do so. Talk to people and start the dialogue.
It's okay to have conversations with the people around you to say, hey, like, what do you guys think about this? The conversations are what is going to be the most beneficial to everyone.
So many people look up to you. And the fact that you said, no, let's keep in the worst of the worst. Because somebody is struggling with something, their version of that. Not many people have done that.
I don't live my life in shame anymore. When you're trying to live a life for somebody else, there can be a lot of shame. When you're trying to fit a mold that doesn't feel right to you, it's going to overflow. And I had to learn what didn't work for me, and I think hopefully a lot of other people will see that like it's not a one-size-fits-all solution. And I understand that the things that I talk about in this documentary, some of which some people are gonna have a problem with. But for me, I have to show what's working for me right in this moment because the other way didn't work for me.
You and I spoke about wanting all opinions, not just one,
Right.
all opinions. And that's why we have Elton John in there talking about, sorry, it doesn't work. When I put that in, you said, I love the conflict there.
Yeah.
That's the goal here. It's to say that there isn't just one answer. And we're not saying we have the answer, far from it. We're just saying this is your journey, and we're asking people to speak about it. Because speaking about it does help.
I'm also asking people to have grace and patience for not just me in this journey,
Right.
but anyone else they know that goes through this journey. Life is about figuring out what works best for you. Not 10 people over here, not 50 people over there. What works for you? The only way that you can figure that out is by having those conversations. I'm excited to see what this doc does for people.
What are you most excited about?
I'm excited for people to get to know me. Like, this is the most authentic I've ever been with the world. Like, Syra turned to me after I showed it to her, and she was like, I'm just so stoked that people get to see who my best friend is, Your personality really shines through on this, and your growth and evolution. Like, I feel like people are really gonna get to know you a lot better than they ever have before because this is the most authentic you've ever been in front of a camera. And you can see that when you watch it. And so I'm excited for everyone to get to meet me, even my fans, for the first time.